afternoon. I'm Shawn Yao, and this is One News Now. The Food and Drug Administration is now looking to revise the emergency use permit of several COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers in order to make way for the rollout of booster shots and third vaccine doses. To tell us more, we have Greg Gregorio joining us live from Mandaluyong City. Greg, hello. Which vaccine brands are now up for review, and when can we expect the results of the review to be released?
Hi, Sean. Good afternoon. According to FDA Director General Eric Domingo, their vaccine experts are currently reviewing the data involving the COVID-19 vaccines of Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Janssen, Sinovac, Coronavac, and Moderna. Note that their review does not include the COVID-19 vaccines of Sputnik V from Russia and Sinopharm from China. Domingo explained that the 5 aforementioned brands were the only ones requested by the DOH in relation to the earlier recommendation of the Health Technology Assessment Council for the possible rollout of booster shots and third doses of COVID-19 vaccines starting fourth quarter of this year. Sean?
All right, what about molnupiravir, Greg? Of course, this is Merck's COVID pill. Any updates on that?
So this molnupiravir remains to be an anti-COVID drug that is under clinical investigation, but through a granted compassionate special permit to MedEthics and Jack Pharma by the Food and Drug Administration, the country is expecting 300,000 bottles or around 12 million capsules of molnupiravir to arrive by November. But since this is under CSP, this will only be rolled out by MedEthics and Jack Pharma to 4 hospitals across the country who also have their CSP for this molnupiravir. FDA Director General Eric Domingo clarified though that since this is under CSP, those patients who will experience any adverse events following the after having these this COVID pill, all of these will be shouldered or be under the responsibility of those hospitals and pharmaceutical companies who have applied CSP for the importation and distribution of this anti-COVID pill. Sean?
All right, so just to clarify, Greg, only hospitals with compassionate special permits or CSPs can administer molnupiravir. Now, are there any other hospitals seeking to apply for this permit?
Sean, according to FDA DG Domingo, they have currently granted CSP to 31 hospitals across the country and 5 pharmaceutical companies who are eyeing to distribute and import and use these anti-COVID pill to their patients. Of course, the FDA will be open to any more CSP applications, and according to Domingo, they will inform the public as soon as there will be update on the numbers of hospitals and pharmaceutical companies who will be granted with CSP. Sean?
Right, so Greg, just to make it clear, are there stocks or supplies of molnupiravir here in the country right now?
Sean, there were molnupiravir capsules which were initially or earlier used as part of a clinical trial by the Merck or its manufacturer here in the Philippines for their clinical trial, which occurred in various hospitals such as the Lung Center of the Philippines and the Quirino Memorial Medical Center. Aside from that, there will be a clinical trial for this molnupiravir as prophylaxis. But those who have earlier been granted CSP may have already stocked a number of supply of this dose, as this will be used for their patients who will show an earlier signs of COVID-19. Sean?
All right, thank you for clearing that up, Greg. Let's move on now to vaccinations. Of course, the government has finally decided to expand the inoculation for minors program. I guess this should cover minors without comorbidities. When is this slated to start?
Sure, Sean, first, the Department of Health said the phase 3 of the current pilot run of the pediatric vaccination among 12 to 17-year-olds with comorbidities will be expanded to regions outside NCR by October 29. But starting November 3, the government will start rolling out COVID-19 vaccines to all 12 to 17-year-olds, even without comorbidities. According to Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere, based on the data of the Philippine Statistics Authority, there are 12.7 million 12 to 17-year-olds in the country who are eyed by the COVID-19 vaccine before the year ends. Sean?
Right, thank you so much for all those updates and clarifications. Greg Gregorio of News 5 joining us live from Mandaluyong. Thank you, Greg. And the House of Representatives has submitted the proposed 5 trillion peso budget for 2022 to the Senate. House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco said copies of the budget bill were sent to the upper chamber last Monday. With this, Congress is on track to fulfill its promise to pass the budget bill before the end of the year. Velasco noted that a reenacted budget will only dampen the country's recovery efforts. Let's check out the recent developments in Philippine politics. Vice President Leni Robredo clarified that she does not condone vote buying. In an online forum that was recently held with household workers, Robredo said for them to accept money but still vote according to their conscience. However, COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez disagreed with this, saying it is an offense regardless of the situation. Meanwhile, another presidential candidate, Senator Manny Pacquiao, distributed cash in Pangasinan. Pacquiao denied that the move is a form of vote buying since he has been handing out financial aid to those in need since 2002. Pacquiao's visit attracted some 3,000 residents who were not able to observe physical distancing. And Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello reiterates his support for Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte. Bello said he will only run for senator if Mayor Sara decides to gun for the presidency. Bello also said he may substitute for his brother, who had filed a certificate of candidacy for senator. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Cemeteries across Metro Manila are scheduled to close starting Friday to prevent overcrowding. Let's check on the latest on the ground with JC Cosico, who joins us live from Parañaque City. JC, hello. How is the situation there at the Manila Memorial Park? Are people streaming in?
Sean, visitors have started to arrive here in Manila Memorial Park in Parañaque City. That's ahead of the cemetery's closure from October 29 to November 2. Many people opted to visit today to avoid the possible influx of people on Thursday. Before they enter the cemetery, police and guards inspect their vehicles to make sure that minors and senior citizens aged 65 and above will not enter the premises. Those allowed to enter are not required to present their vaccination results and swab test results. Only up to 1,600 individuals at a time are allowed inside the cemetery to ensure physical distancing. Only 2 family members may visit the graves of their loved ones in lawn areas. For those with mausoleums and estates, up to 5 family members are allowed. Guests are only allowed a maximum of 2 hours inside the cemetery. This means staying overnight or having picnics are prohibited. Police are deployed in the area to check whether visitors are complying with health protocols. The cemetery management expects over 14,000 individuals to visit on Thursday. Sean, we saw some supporters of the Aquino family visiting their mausoleum. Now, as of 1 p.m., over 4,000 individuals have visited the cemetery, which will close at 5 p.m. Back to you.
Thanks so much for that update and stay safe there in Parañaque. JC Cosico reporting to us live from the Manila Memorial Park. Here's a quick look at today's other top stories. Environment Secretary Roy Simatu says he has relieved Manila Bay Task Force Director Jake Maimban from his post. This is after thousands of people flocked to the Manila Bay Dolomite Beach last Sunday, completely ignoring minimum safety protocols. The Court of Appeals has declared Mandaluyong City's ordinance prohibiting males from being motorcycle backriders as unconstitutional. In its decision, the 5th Division of the court said this violates equal protection since there is no substantial distinction between a male and female backrider. The ordinance was enacted as a way to eliminate crimes or deter crimes perpetrated by riding in tandem. And in sports, the heated PBA Philippine Cup Finals is boiling down to a pivotal Game 4 later today. TNT is looking to bounce back from its Game 3 loss to take full command of the series, while Magnolia will try to get the series back to square one at 2 apiece. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com. Stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.